Indulge in the rich flavor of culture. Afang soup made with so much love and precision, just like my mom's. Special thanks to Hilda Baci and Chef T of Diary of a Kitchen Lover for inspiring our recipe. Taste the tradition, share the love. Afang soup, deliciously cultural. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making an inspired afang soup recipe, and for this recipe the tip number one is the perfect blend of pepper mix. So you want to get as much pepper mix as possible. You want to get your red rodo, yellow rodo, green rodo, and enough onions, and you're going to blend this all together. You're not going to blend it to a smooth paste. You want to blend this to a rough texture. You want to rough blend it because you need the flavors to just stand out. Okay, so that is the first tip in making a very nice afang soup. Your pepper mix, it should bang. It should really bang. So for this recipe, we have our pepper mix, we have goat meat. For our protein combination, we have goat meat, smoked fish, and we have Kpomo. Okay, but you can use any protein of your choice, but I suggest you first try this combination first. We have enough oil, we have our crayfish, and in this crayfish you can see that there is a little blend of afang leaf in it, and that's because I blended my afang first in the market, then I blended it out with my crayfish. That is the reason why you are seeing a little bit of afang in the crayfish. We have your seasoning cubes, we have the afang, the star ingredient of today. We have our afang leaf. Now, something else you must note in making afang soup, another tip to take home today, is that there is a ratio to your afang and water leaf. Okay, while making afang soup that will really bang, you want to use 60% afang and 40% water leaf. Okay, so that is tip number 2. And we have our water leaf, like you've all seen. We have our perwinkle, shelled perwinkle, and emphasis on shell, because what is traditional afang soup without your shelled periwinkle? And you can see I have enough of it because this soup needs to bang. It needs to really bang. So use enough periwinkle so that every bit of the soup, every plate that you dish out will have just the right amount of periwinkle. Okay guys, so let's start making the afang soup proper. So you want to start by adding water to your periwinkle. You can see that I have already washed this periwinkle. It is very neat at this moment. You can see how neat it is, and you have to ensure that you cut your periwinkle very well, because if you don't cut it right, you're going to end up just using periwinkle that you will not be able to suck. Okay, so when you are cutting it, ensure that you see that blue thing. You see this blue thing. So when you see it, you just know that you've cut the periwinkle to the right size. Okay, so you want to add water just to cover the periwinkle a bit, just a bit, as I am showing you in this video. The water should be slightly above the periwinkle, just as I am showing you in this video. And then you want to go in with a little salt to this. Add a little salt to your periwinkle, and you're going to cover your pot up. Okay, cover this up, and you're going to steam your periwinkle. Just bring it to a boil. Okay, so I will show you guys that when it is ready. And for starters, I'm going to separate my Kpomo and my fish from my meat. Okay, because these two takes a different time to cook. Okay, because I want to cook my meat, and you know, a goat meat sometimes is a bit tough. You're just going to go into your pot with your meat, and you can see I have a little bit of water in my pot. That's because I rinsed my blender and I decided to use the water. Okay, so I go in with my pepper mix, I go in with my seasoning cubes, my salt, and I am going to allow that to simmer for some time before I add more water to this until it cooks perfectly. And on the other hand, here is my perwinkle doing just fine. You can see that I have brought it to a boil, and at this point the periwinkle is perfectly okay. Okay, and another thing I want you to note is that you mustn't boil your periwinkle, you mustn't parboil your periwinkle before use. Okay, you can decide to just throw it into the soup at the right time and it would be just fine. But because I'm keen on flavors, I like to boil my periwinkle before I use it in the soup proper. So here you can see that my meat is ready, and I now go in with my kpomo and my fish just to get the extract from the fish, for the fish to release its juice, its flavor into the soup. And I would be removing the fish in less than no time. And you can see here that my fish has released its juice. Now, another tip that you should be taking home today is that you should not use too much water when making your afang soup. You should just steam your meat and your proteins until you have just a thick, flavorful broth, just like I have here. Okay, take out your fish at this moment because you don't want your fish to pieces. Then go in with your crayfish and your pepper mix. You can see this is the second time I am adding my pepper mix to my soup. Then you're going to add in your palm oil. You have to use just a decent amount, enough palm oil for the soup, because afang soup takes up too much palm oil. Now, another tip you should be taking home from this video is that you should have a decent amount of palm oil. Use just enough palm oil for your afang soup. Now, I mentioned that you should have just a thick, flavorful broth before you start putting your ingredients, because of the water leaf that we are using for this soup. You all know that water leaf has so much water in it, and about now it is going to wilt and it's going to release its own water into this soup. So supposing you use too much water at the beginning, you're going to end up with a watery afang soup, and you do not want that. So you just allow this to simmer for about 3 minutes and it would be perfect. That 3 minutes is enough time to allow the water leaf to wilt and release its own juice while still maintaining the color and the taste. Okay, please don't overcook your water leaf at all. It's going to affect the look of your soup and it's going to affect the taste in the long run, because it is going to be very soft and you don't want that. You want your afang soup to be just the right consistency. So follow this tip. Just allow it to simmer and release its juice, and honestly 3 minutes is just enough time to allow your water leaf wilt. Then I added in the third batch of my pepper mix. I went in with my remaining crayfish, my periwinkle, and then my palm oil. Then give this a quick mix. Okay, adjust your seasoning if need be. Then go in with your afang leaves. At this point, you want to add in your afang leaves and give your soup a quick stir. Stir your soup until everything is well combined, until the soup base, the water leaf, the afang, everything is properly combined. Then I added in the last batch of my pepper mix and my palm oil. Now, if you're asking, why am I adding my pepper mix in so much batch? This is because I want to retain the flavor of this mix at every point of making this soup. So tell me, would you be trying this recipe? Remember, this recipe was inspired by Chef T of Diary of a Kitchen Lover and Hilda Baci. This recipe is not just ordinary, it's premium and luxury at the same time. Would you be trying this recipe on your next afang soup trial? Drop it in the comment section. What do you think about this recipe? The color, the blend, the combination of the protein, everything. What do you think about it? Now, the last tip you should be going home with is that if you are using fish, the fish should be the last thing you should incorporate into your soup. Remember, we've released the juice of this fish into the soup earlier, but the fish itself would be the last to go in. So guys, look at the soup. Afang thank of the Most High. This soup is delicious. It gave what it was supposed to give. The look is amazing, taste on point. All thanks to Chef T of Diary of a Kitchen Lover and Hilda Baci for this amazing, inspired Afang soup recipe that we have here. This soup is luxury and premium put together. Try this out, guys, and tell me what you think about the soup. Is this soup different from the way you make your Afang soup? Tell me in the comment section. Is it worth a trial? Tell me in the comment section. What do you think about the step-by-step process of making this soup? Tell me in the comment section. I want to hear your feedback. I want to know what you think. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this page, because this is not the only premium recipe that I would be sharing in this channel. Remember, this is Cravings by Anna. This channel is all about food, it's all about cakes, it's all about lifestyle. Get yourself subscribed to this channel now, like right now. Hit that subscribe button, share to your friends. Someone might need this. Just look at how amazing, how yummy this soup looks, and the taste was heavenly. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.